Me. Can't focus on me. Baby, can you focus?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl JJ and I'm back with another video. So y'all, I'm coming at y'all with another story time, but before we get into the story time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all, we almost to 15K, so I'm so happy about that. And also, y'all, my baby birthday today. She just turned 13, so I'm so happy. But let's jump right into the story time. So, y'all, this is basically going to be a story time about how I was with my homegirl, Floozy, and she just had me on BS the whole day. All right, so, y'all, one day I'm chilling at home, right? Minding my business, probably looking on MySpace, just in my own little world, okay? And my phone ring. It's Floozy. So I answered and I'm just like, oh, hey, girl, like, what's up? Like, what you doing? And she was just like, girl, nothing. Oh, my God, like, you should come over. I'm bored. I'm not doing nothing. Like, come over. And every time she said that, y'all, I would literally just get up and just be on my way because I knew we was going to do something fun. Like, even if it was, like, just sitting in the house eating or pulling up on people or having people pull up on us or whatever. It really didn't matter. We would have fun when we was together. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to pack me a little bag because I already knew that when I went to her house, I would spend the night. So I just already knew. Get my bag together. I ended up telling my mom, like, hey, mom, do you think you can drop me off at Floozy house? So she was like, okay, cool. Like, she'll take me because her best friend stayed in the same city. So my mom will always be at her best friend's house. So, yeah, she was basically told me that she'll give me a ride over there. So, y'all, I'm happy. I'm happy as hell because I ain't had to catch the bus, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love catching the bus, but sometimes I just did not want to do that. So I'm extra juiced. Like, I'm in the best mood ever, right? So my mom like, all right, let's go. We head over to Floozy house. Get there. I call her. I'm like, hey, I'm outside. She come meet me outside, say hey to my mom, blah, blah, blah. We go in the house. I'm speaking to everybody in the house, and then we just, like, sit on the couch and we're just talking. So she was just like, girl, you look cute. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, you look cute too, girl. Like, what you got planned? Like, what you trying to do? And she was just like, nothing. Like, we could just, like, chill in the house. Like, I really don't have too much planned unless, you know, one of my niggas hit me up or something. She was like, but other than that, like, we could just, like, chill. So I'm like, okay, cool. Because, y'all, I didn't mind. Like, I didn't mind at all because I used to just like being around my friends. I really... We didn't need no reason to hang around each other. Like, I swear, if we just sat on our phones and laid in bed, that was fun for me. Like, taking a nap, fun for me, okay? We sitting down, we chilling, and we just, like, chopping it up, having a whole little conversation. So, Floozy was just like, girl, I need to show you this boy that I met on MySpace. Like, we've been talking for a few weeks, and I really like him. So, I'm like, girl, show me him. Like, what he look like? So, she was like, girl, he is fine. Like, he looks so good. But she was like, okay, like, let me pull his page up. So, she get on the computer, and she started pulling up his page, right? So she's showing me him, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, he do look cute. I'm looking at the little all the pictures on the side of him, his friends, you know, his brother, his whole family, everybody on the side. Y'all know how MySpace used to be back in the day. You just have a whole bunch of pictures on the page. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, he's cool. And I see he got a couple fine friends and family members or whatever, whoever they are, but they look good. So she was just like, yeah, girl, like, I'm so nervous to meet him. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm never nervous to meet a nigga. She was like, but this one, like, oh, he just looks so good. So he make me so nervous. So I'm just like, girl, yeah, I already know how that be because that's me all the time. So I'm not even finna be like, girl, don't be nervous. Girl, be fucking nervous, okay? Be nervous. So I'm like, girl, when y'all plan on linking? And she was just telling me, like, she don't know, but she do want to see him soon because she just know that he's working with something that she gonna like. Y'all don't know what that mean? Use your imagination. So I'm just like, so you only want to link with him to do some things with him? Like, what? I don't know. Like, y'all, back then, my mentality was never on just meeting a nigga and want to just smash and that's it. Like, no, I want to be in love. I want to get married. I want to have babies. Like, I want to start a whole family. Like, if you like me and I like you, what else is there to do? Like, we're supposed to be in love, right? Like, that's all I would think. So when she would say things like this, I would just be looking at her like lost. Like, I swear, like, just in a gaze, like, girl, what? So she was just like, yeah, like, I do want to link with him. But she was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna do it another time. Like, maybe I need to get to know him just a little bit more because I just know I'm gonna fall in love with that dude. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we're still just talking, chopping it up, having a good time. So her phone ring, and it's the boy that she met on MySpace. And in this story time, what am I going to call him? We can call him Monster. Okay, let's just call him Monster. So Floozy answers the phone. It's Monster, right? So they're just like talking, you know, hey, how you doing? What you doing? All that type of stuff. Like, so I'm just sitting there listening because she got it on speaker. So she got the phone on speaker and I'm just sitting there listening to the whole conversation. And he was just like, yeah, like, what you doing? So she told him like, oh, I'm just chilling with my homegirl. She came over to chill with me. And, you know, like, we ain't doing much. We just like sitting down talking and stuff. So he was just like, oh, like, you need me to call you back? And she was just like, no, it's cool. Like, we could talk for a minute. What's up? Like, what you doing? So he's like, oh, nothing, just chilling with my brother. And, you know, we just in the house, just, you know, watching TV, playing a game, just chilling. So Flizzy is just like talking to him and she was just like, oh, okay, like, we should probably, you should hook your brother up with my friend. And so when she said that, I looked at her like, girl, who, what? What friend? Like, I'm looking around because I'm just like, what friend? Who's she talking about? And he was just like, what's your friend look like? Like, tell me what she look like. So she was just like, Jay, send me some pictures. Send me some pictures. So I'm just sitting there looking like, girl, what do the brother look like? I want to know what he look like first before I get to send him my pictures, okay? Like, what? So she's just like, send me some pictures, send me some pictures. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going to send her some pictures. So I sent her my best flicks, okay? Because, yeah. So she sends them to Monster. So Monster was like, oh, okay, she cool. Like, she cool. Yeah, my brother will most definitely like her. So I'm just sitting there looking at her. Don't get me wrong. I didn't mind talking to new dudes, but I went through a phase where I would be juggling multiple, and then it just kind of got overwhelming to where it was just like, you know what? I like to just focus on one person. But people used to play so many games, and it's just like, once you're going through something or you're getting over something, it's just don't want to bring another person into your circle until you just kind of like clear-minded, you know? So at that time, I wasn't in a relationship, but I was just like, you know what? Whatever. So I'm like, tell him to have his brother send some pictures, like, you know, I want to see some pictures of him too. So he ended up sending some pictures to Floozy phone of his brother. So I'm looking at the brother and I'm like, okay, the brother is cute. His pictures wasn't the best quality, but I'm like, okay, he's cute. I'm like, yeah, for sure, like, slide him my number. So Floozy ended up texting him my number, and then, you know, he gave it to his brother. So his brother hit me up, and he just like, hey, Jay, like, you know, lock me in. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna lock you in. So he was like, you're beautiful. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, you're handsome too. So we spark up a whole little conversation, you know, like, we kind of like getting to know each other and just like talking back and forth. And it was cool. The chemistry was there. So Floozy gets off the phone, and she was just like, oh, like, girl, what his brother talking about? I'm like, but he's cool. Like, he cool. Like, he seemed down to earth and stuff. She's like, girl, we should take my mama car tonight. I'm going to ask her first, but if she's like, no, we're going to wait till she falls asleep. We're going to take her car. So I'm looking at her like, girl, who is we? I'm not taking nobody's car. I don't want to say I was a goody, but y'all, certain things I was not partaking in. Like, girl, no, I don't want to get caught in your mama car. Like, anything could happen. And I feel like I be just thinking about the anything that could happen. So when she said that, I'm like, girl, I ain't feeling nothing. So she was like, girl, don't trip. Like, I take it all the time. Like, it's cool. Like, don't even worry about it. So I'm just like, maybe ask your mom first, you know, because girl, I'm gonna be scared the whole time. Like, her mama was intimidating. Like, So she was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna ask her. So I'm sitting down, she ended up going upstairs. She asked her mom, like, oh, mom, like, are you going anywhere today? Like, can I use your car? Because her mom would let her use the car. So she's like, yeah, can I use your car? Whatnot, whatever. So her mom ended up saying, yeah. Y'all, I was like, thank the Lord, because I was not trying to go nowhere if she was stealing her mom's car. Like, I just didn't. So she was like, oh, girl, oh, like, my mama said she ain't tripping. Like, as long as I don't bring that car back with no gas, she was like, she don't mind if I use the car. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she was like, we should go pull up on them. And I don't want to say that I just said no, like, hell no, girl, like, no. But it didn't sound bad. Like, it actually sounded cool. Like, I enjoyed pulling up and meeting different people around this time. Even though I would be super shy, I feel like I still was open to meeting people. Like, I didn't mind. So I'm like, okay, like, let them know. Like, we're going to come pull up on them. So she was like, all right, I'm going to tell him. But she was like, dang, nah, it's cool. Yeah, we're going to go. So I'm like, girl, what? Like, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Do not come up, do not say, oh my God, and then stop talking. Like, don't start a conversation like it's about to be something juicy and then stop. Because then I'm going to want to know and I'm going to keep asking you until you tell me. She was just like, my nigga want me to pull up on him to come pick up some money. Like, I wasn't sure if he was going to have me come out there today or tomorrow. She was like, but he most definitely told me he wanted to have me come pick up some money. So the dude she was talking about, we all knew each other and they would be off and on all the time. Like for some years it was off and on. Well, Floozy ended up calling Monster and she was just like, oh, like me and my homegirl want to pull up on y'all. What y'all doing? Like, is it good? Like, let me know. So he was just like, yeah, come pull up on us. Like, for sure, we'll come outside. We could just like chop it up and just like see y'all in person and we can go from there. So she hangs up the phone with him and his brother ended up texting me, was just like, oh, y'all coming out here? And I'm like, yeah, we about to get ready and then head out there like, you know, in a couple hours or so. So he was like, okay, cool. Like, I can't wait to meet you. So I'm like, all right, same. Like, I can't wait to meet you too. So me and Floozy getting ready. I'm fixing my hair and stuff, like really doing it real cute, y'all. And Floozy getting herself together because she had to like completely get like head to toe get together. Floozy gets ready. I'm ready. She like, all right, cool. Like, you know how I look. I'm like, girl, you look cute. So we get in the car. We head to the gas station. She fill up the tank. We on our way to Oakland, right? The brother is like texting me back and forth, but we're like literally just saying like little small talk. We're not saying too much. And she just like, girl, I am so nervous to meet him in person. But like, oh, he just so fine. And he sent me a picture of that. So I know it just like, you know, like I know it's big. So I'm just like, girl, you about to do something with him? And she was just like, girl, no, I'm not about to do nothing with him. Like, hell no. Like, no, not on the first time that we meet each other. She was like, but the second time, oh yeah, it's a wrap. So I'm like, oh, okay. We're on our way to Oakland, just having a good time, listening to all the old school music. We're just like singing and stuff. Like, we're really a vibe, okay? We're having the best time ever. We pull up to where Monster lived, right? We sit in the car. She ended up telling them like, hey, I'm outside. You know, this is the type of car I'm in. We're just sitting in the car. And I'm really just thinking to myself, okay, so when we get out the car, you know, like I'm gonna give him a hug. I'm gonna try not to be too shy. I'm gonna try to talk, you know, look him in his eye while he's talking to me. And like, hopefully he can hold a conversation. Cause I'm just like, damn, what if he can't? I'm going through all these thoughts in my head. So I'm talking to Floozy and Floozy just like, girl, oh my God. Like, I really want to jump in this man's arms cause he's just so fun. Like, he looks so good. And I'm just like, oh yeah, like, girl, yeah, he is handsome and stuff. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. So they ended up walking outside. And when they walked outside, came out the gate, came out the gate, and then they like stopped. So he like signaled like this for us to get out the car. So I'm like, girl, they signaling for us to get out the car. So she was like, all right, come on, let's get out the car. So we get out the car and we walk like towards them. Said hi, gave hugs and all that. And Floozy is just smiling this man down. Like, he was cute. Him and his brother was cute. I will say that. They were very handsome. So she just like smiling him down like, oh my God, it's finally nice to meet you in person. And he just like, yeah, baby girl, nice to meet you too. So then he's like, oh, my name is Monster. And I'm like, oh, like my name is Jay. I don't want to say it was awkward, but we kind of all was just like standing there like staring at each other like for a minute. And then like, you know, the boys started talking. And so Floozy and Monster kind of moved off to the side and they were just like talking and having a conversation. So me and the brother, and in this story time, we can call him, let's call the brother Mar. So yeah, so me and Mar move off to the side and we're just like talking. We're kind of like walking a little bit, but not too far, but we're kind of just like walking and kind of like just having a little conversation and stuff. So he was just like, yeah, like, so what you be doing out there? And I told, like, he knew the city that we lived in. So he just like, yeah, like, what you be doing out there? And I'm just like, nothing, just chilling. You know, if I'm not working, I'm doing hair, but for the most part, I just be in the house like chilling. So he was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna have to come out there and see you. So I'm like, yeah, you can. Even though I'm saying this to him, like I feel like I really didn't have no intentions on being serious with him. I don't know why, it just didn't give that to me. But he was cool. Like, he was most definitely cool. So we're just like having our conversation and stuff. We ended up walking back kind of like by Floozy mom's car and we're just talking. They ended up walking over there towards us and they just like talking and stuff. So Floozy was just like, girl, I gotta go use the bathroom. Like, you mind just chilling out here for a minute? So I automatically knew that Floozy was finna go up in there and bust it open. Like, I already knew. Because girl, what? How? It don't take that long to pee, sis. Like, what do you mean? So I already knew. So I'm just like, okay, like, leave me your mom's car keys. Like, I'll just sit in the car for a minute. Mar didn't offer me to go in the house. So I'm just like, okay, like, maybe they don't want us all in the house at the same time. I don't know. But girl, I'm gonna sit in your mama's car and wait for you because, yeah, I don't want to just be standing here just with this boy. So he was just like, okay, like, do you mind if I sit in the car with you? So I'm like, no, I don't mind, whatever. So she was like, all right, here. She gave me the car keys. I unlock the door. I get in the driver's side. He get on the passenger side. Lord knows I didn't know how to drive, but I for sure sat in that driver's side like I've been driving my whole life. Monster and Floozy, they ended up going in the house. So I'm looking at my phone because I'm like, okay, I'm at the time this. You better not be in there long, okay? This better be a quickie. Like, it most definitely better. You better not keep me out here long. So I'm looking at my phone. I see the time. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like sparking up a conversation. He's saying little things, and you know, I'm replying back, and I'm, you know, laughing and stuff, and we're having a good time. Like, don't get me wrong, we're having a great time. Like, I had no issues with this boy at all. So 10 minutes go by. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm chilling. I'm not tripping, but I am paying attention to the time. Like, I'm, you know, looking just to see. Plus, I'm just like, dang, she ain't never even met this nigga before. Like, this is her first time linking after meeting him off MySpace, and she just in his house. Like, anything could be happening. So, like, low-key, I'm kind of getting scared. Like, I'm literally like, okay, you know what? I'm about to text my best friend because somebody about to know I'm here. So, I kind of, like, turned a little bit. I'm kind of, like, leaned towards this way. And I'm like having a conversation with him and I'm talking. So I ended up texting my best friend and we had a code for anything. So I'm just like, code, blah, 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 blah. Oakland with Floozy, you know. And then I told her like the street that we was on. So my best friend texted back and was just like, okay, you know, like she pretty much knew. Y'all, I would do that. Somebody always has to know where I'm at. Like somebody has to know where I'm at. Especially if I feel some type of way. Like, it's just to be sure, you know? Never did I feel like they had us in danger or anything, but it's just to be sure. So, me and him still just chopping it up. We just talking and stuff. And he was just like, yeah, like, you super cool. And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just telling him, like, yeah, like, you cool too. So he was just like, oh, are you single? And I told him, like, yeah, I'm single. You know, just got out of something. But, you know, for the most part, I'm single. Don't deal with nobody. Mind my business. So I asked him, I'm just like, are you single? He was just like, yeah. So then, you know, after that, it kind of got awkward a little bit. And then he started asking me the dumbest questions. Like, the dumbest questions. Like, and I'm just like, okay, maybe he's nervous. And I get it because I get nervous too. But, like, the questions that he was asking, I don't really remember the exact questions. But I remember being annoyed. Like, okay, so Floozy, when are you coming out? By now, it's been like 20 minutes. So I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know, still chopping it up with him. So he was just like, you know what, you thirsty? Like, you want anything to drink? So I was like, yeah, like, can you go get me a water? So he was like, all right, I'm gonna go in the house. I'm gonna get something to drink. I'll be right back. So he goes in the house and I text Floozy and I'm just like, you good? She didn't text back. So I'm like, okay, whatever. She probably good. So he goes in the house, you know, he's in there for a couple minutes. He ended up coming back out. As he's coming back out, Floozy and Monster are walking out too, like right behind him. So she ended up, they making it to the car. He gave me the water and stuff. And she's just like, girl, my bad, you know. And she's just like, yeah, like, you ready? Like, you know, let me know when you're ready. So I'm just like, yeah, girl, like, I'm ready when you are. So she was like, all right, we gonna leave. So Mara was just like, oh, dang, all right, well, that's cool. You know, like, we got to link again for sure. So I'm like, yeah, we most definitely do. Mara was cool. He was. I just feel like with me, when I first meet people, I low-key, like, I don't know. I just be annoyed with everything because I be trying to find a reason not to talk to somebody. I don't know why I do it, but honestly, I feel like that'd be a sign to leave niggas alone because every time I've had that, which has been every single nigga, it's always just been like, find a reason to not talk to this nigga. Like, find a reason. And then when I find a reason, I still say it. Just be so stupid. But yeah, like, Mar was cool. Like, I had no problems with Mar. I just kind of just, you know, it's my own little thing that I be having. So, you know, we get him hugs, get in the car. So Floozy get back to the car smelling like a fish market. Like, she was, she stunk. I'm just like, girl, what y'all doing in there? Like, like, I know that they was doing in there, but smelling like that, like, girl, what? Y'all was in there making tilapia? Shit, frying catfish? Like, what? So I'm just like rolling my window down a little bit. And she's like, girl, I know I smell like a little sex. Like, I know I kind of like smell like sex. So, you know, like, I'm gonna go to my auntie house. Like, don't even trip. I'm gonna go wash up at my auntie house. And I'm like, girl, please do that. Do that. Because it just was funky. Like, it was nasty. And I'm just like, ugh, like, what's wrong with her? Like, girl, you mean to tell me you gave that to somebody? And Floozy is just like, girl, oh my God, like, he really working with a monster. That's why I named him Monster, y'all. So she like, yeah, he really working with a monster. Like, oh my God, it was so big. It was this, it was that. Like, it was perfect. Like, that's the one I've been looking for. So I'm just like, oh, okay, girl. Like, yeah, it was good. Like, hold on now. It must have been good. You was in there for about 20, 30 minutes. So she was like, girl, yeah, my bad. Oh, my God. She was like, but my nigga was blowing my phone up, like really just blowing my phone up. So I'm like, you know, maybe he wanted to give you that money. She was like, girl, yeah. So we drive to her auntie house. She didn't live too far away from Monster and Mar. So we get there. We pull up. We sit in the driveway. And she was just like, okay, I'm finna go in the house and I'm gonna wash up and then I'll be back outside. So I'm like, all right, go ahead. I'm minding my business. Like, y'all, I'm not even tripping. So I'm sitting in the car and she go in the house and I guess she do her little wash up and stuff, say hi to her peoples, you know, get something to eat. I don't know what the hell she did when she went in the house. But I know she came back out smelling like soap and perfume. So I'm like, okay, you know, smart girl. You know, you don't want to be up under your nigga smelling like sex. So that's cool. Like, you're smart. So we ended up just sitting in the car. Her boyfriend ended up calling. I don't know why I'm calling her boyfriend. They was on and off. So you know what? It was her boyfriend. So her nigga ended up calling the phone. He was just like, all right, like, I'm like 10 minutes away. I'm on my way. Like, do you need anything? Do you want anything? And she was just like, oh, like, Jay, you hungry? Like, do you want something? So I'm like, yeah, I am. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna stop. Her nigga was getting money. I'm not gonna lie. He was a nigga that was getting some money, but I feel like, I don't know. You know what that come with. That come with niggas doing what they want to do and cheating and all that type of stuff. So she had her fair share of fighting females and all that type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, where he about to go? Like, where he about to go get some food? So I guess he was just gonna go to like Jack in the Box and just grab something. He get over there, and when he come, y'all, this must have been the most finest cousin that he ever had. So yeah, I'm looking like, ooh, like this is a fine guy. I ain't never seen this cousin before. So, you know, he getting out the car, both of them get out the car. So me and Floozy, we get out the car, and I'm just like, ooh, okay, like, this is a fine nigga. So as soon as I saw him, as soon as we locked eyes and he was smiling, y'all, I already knew that he was going to say something to me. So I'm sitting there smiling back because I don't want him to think that I do not like him. Like, I had the biggest Kool-Aid smile on my face, okay? I know, because my lips and my teeth was hurting because I was smiling hard as hell. So he just like, damn, little mama, like, what's your name? So, y'all, I instantly just folded, and I was like, Jamisha. Like, I told him my real name. Baby, I don't even want to play with you. Jamisha, my whole full name, okay? I probably said every letter in my name. So he was just like, oh, okay, like, where you from? Y'all, I'm just, like, really, like, engaging in this conversation, like, just smiling hella hard and just, like, talking to him. Mind you, he was so fine. He was tall as hell. He had dreads, like, y'all. Now this nigga look good. Like, this was a fine one. And I know y'all probably thinking like, okay, you keep saying that this person is fine, this person is fine. Like, y'all, he really was cute. Like, it was just everything about him. Like, y'all, he was so confident. Like, it didn't get awkward at all. Like, he was just having a whole full-blown conversation with me, and I just was so intrigued into talking to him. Like, it was just like, oh my God. So I'm like thinking like, hold on, where is the food? Like, where the hell the goddamn food at? So I didn't say nothing, but then Floozy was like, where is the food? Like, where the food at? I'm like, damn, I was just thinking about where the damn food at. So he was like, oh man, the line was too long. So I ended up just hopping off the line, just coming up over here because I know you needed that bread. I needed to give you that money. So yeah. So I'm just like, okay. He was like, but if y'all want to go grab some, we could just all hop in my car and we can go get something to eat. So Floozy was like, oh, Jay, like, you want to do that? And I'm looking at the fine nigga. Didn't even give him a name. He was so goddamn fine. We just gonna call him, let's just call him Morris. I can't think of nothing else, y'all. So we just gonna call him Morris. So yeah, I look at Morris like, whew. Yeah, I do want to go somewhere. I want to sit in the car with him. Like, he is fun. I do not want this night to end. So I'm like, yeah, girl, I ain't tripping. Like, yeah, if you hungry, I'm not really too hungry. But, you know, like, yeah, if you hungry. So she looking at me like, girl, what? You just said you was hungry. But she didn't say nothing. She was like, all right, cool. Like, let's get in the car. But let me go tell my auntie I'm going to leave my car out here. And, you know, I'll be back. So she go in the house, and me and Morris, we still just like having our little conversation and stuff. And he just like, dang, you so little, like you so short. Y'all, he was tall and fine and chocolate. Like, he was just, oh, he was my type all around. I'm like, yeah, I used to be shorter than this. Like, I used to be 5 feet. I'm like, I'm 5'2" now. So yeah, like, I'm a little tall now. And then he started cracking up, like laughing. So Floozy ended up coming outside. We ended up hopping in her dude car. She got in the front. I got in the back with Morris, and we just back there. right? I'm looking out the window because I honestly, I wanted to be staring at him just like in his face like this. But I knew I would have looked crazy as hell just turned to the side staring at him like that. So I'm just like kind of like, you know, looking out the window and stuff and, you know, looking towards the front with Floozy and her dude. And he's hitting corners. Like, he low-key driving a little crazy, but not too crazy. Like, I wanted to be like, hey, slow down, nigga. Slow down. That's why I don't like getting in cars with niggas at all. But I'm just like, okay, be brave. You know, we back here. Like, it's cool. Like, it's all good. So we ended up pulling up to a little burger stand. We all get out the car, order what we wanted. Morris ended up buying my food for me, but y'all, I was so shy to eat, so I just ordered me some fries. I'm just like, I'm just gonna nibble on some fries because you can't look crazy eating fries. Like, you eat them slow and cute. Like, there's no way you could just like shove fries on your face and just look crazy, you know, versus eating a burger and all that. So I'm just like, oh, he a gentleman. But then also he probably was just like, girl, these $3 fries, calm down. Anyways, so yeah. We get the food, we head back to the car, we get in the car, we like eating the food, we spin off. So we ended up going back to her auntie house and we're just like in the car. The niggas ended up rolling up a blunt. They all smoke. At this time, I didn't really smoke at all. Like, I had never hit a blunt a day in my life. So, well, I did hit a blunt before, but I didn't smoke around this time. So I'm just like, you know, watching them hit the blunt, just watching everybody go in rotation with the blunt. Car all smoky and shit. I'm just sitting there just looking probably foolish because I feel like when you're around people that smoke and you're the only one that don't, you kind of look foolish when they all just passing that blunt and you just there. Like, it literally look like a fly on the wall just there. So, yeah, they all getting high and stuff, talking. Niggas is just, like, talking all loud. I don't know why, but when people start smoking, they get to talking loud, trying to talk over the music. They was playing a little bit of music in the car. It wasn't too loud, but they was still, like, talking over the music. So, yeah, I most definitely was feeling Morris. And it was a few times he kept trying to, like, pass the blunt to me, but I'm just like, yeah, like, I don't smoke. Like, how many times I gotta, that's why I can't stand people that smoke. They don't never, like, I don't smoke. And they be like, oh, yeah, my bad. So he was just like, yeah, like, you don't smoke? I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, so you must drink. I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, you don't do nothing? And I was like, no, I don't. Like, I don't know. Like, I just didn't. Like, I didn't need none of that. Like, just me being me, my personality was high, okay? Like, that's just what it was. Like, I just would be happy and just, I just had a lot of energy, I guess, whatever. So they get done smoking and stuff. Let the car air the hell out, and we just like chilling for a minute, and then it was kind of getting a little late. So Floozy was just like, okay, well, we're gonna head back to, you know, my house because I know my mama gonna want her car back soon. So, you know, I've been gone for some hours now. So yeah, me and Morris ended up exchanging numbers and stuff, and yeah, I gave him a hug, left, and I was just like, oh, girl. As soon as we got in that car, I was like, Floozy, that motherfucker was fine. Like, I like him for sure. Like, I need to make that nigga mine for sure because he looked the fuck good. He knew how to hold a conversation. Like, there was no awkward moments whatsoever. He was funny as hell. He knew how to joke. He knew how to take a joke. Like, he would laugh at my jokes. Like, he was really cool. I'm like, I like him. So we're driving. We probably like 20 minutes into our drive, almost to her house. I ended up getting a text from Morris, and he was just like, yeah, like, I can't wait to see your pretty face again. Like, you really, you know, like, you cool. So I ended up texting him back, and I'm like, you cool too, handsome. Like, yeah, we most definitely got a link. I'm like, I live in woo-woo-woo. So I told him the city I lived in. He was like, oh, like, I live in da-da-da-da. So basically the cities that we lived in, like, he lived in Hayward, and at this time I lived in, where did I live? I forgot where I lived. Anyways, he lived in the city. We both basically lived like probably like 15 minutes away from each other. We didn't live too far from each other. So he was like, yeah, we most definitely got a link and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, yeah, for sure. We get back on the other side, like closer to her house, and she was just like, Jay, you want to drink? And I was like, I don't care. Y'all, our version of drinking was literally Boone's Farms. Like, we was drinking malt liquor. Ain't that malt liquor? Ain't it? Because I don't know what that is. But yeah, y'all, or wine. I don't know what it is, okay? But we ended up getting us a bottle, 2 bottles, because we would get 2 bottles of Boone Farm. So we get 2 bottles of Boone's, and then we get back to our house, and we just like drinking our little bottles. We have a bottle each, and we're just sitting there drinking it and stuff. And so her mama had made tacos, so it was some tacos in the refrigerator. So she ended up warming up everything. We ate some of that, and we just like chilled until we went to sleep. Next morning come, I get a text from Mar, and I got text messages from Morris. And I'm like, ooh, hold on now. Like, I'm back in the game. Like, y'all, first my phone was dry. Now my phone is, you know, like, the coach didn't put me back in the game. I got niggas. So I'm just like, oh, I got options. Oh, okay. So I'm texting Mar, you know, we having our little conversation, but it was just something about talking to Morris. Morris was just like a breath of fresh air. Like, he was hella funny even through texting. Like, I'm sitting here laughing through a text message. Like, that's when, you know, you know, and don't get me wrong, Mar was a cool guy. Like, he was super cool, but I don't know. Like, it just wasn't clicking. Like, it wasn't like one of those, like, I have always had this fairy tale type of, like, I didn't feel like it was love at first sight when it came down to Mar, even though nothing was wrong with him. It just wasn't, I don't know. But I still talked to him and stuff. Like, it was still going to be cool. Like, I wasn't going to just, like, ghost him or stop talking to him or anything. But it was just like, whatever. Like, I like Morris. Like, that's what I like. But I'm going to keep both these niggas on standby because why not? We just pretty much chilled in the house. Her best friend ended up coming by. I don't think her best friend liked me, but it was what it was. When she came around, I just sat down, minding my business, and that was that. So, you know, they're like chopping it up, talking and stuff. And I wasn't really involved in the conversation, but I didn't mind, didn't care. I'm not that friend that gives a at all, okay? Y'all want to leave me out the conversation? I don't care. I'll start a conversation with myself in my head. So y'all good. Don't even trip. So her best friend ended up leaving, and my mom ended up calling me, and she was just like, oh, like, if you want to ride home, like, let me know. Like, I'm in the area and I'm about to head back home. So I ended up just telling Floozy, like, girl, my mama is around the corner and she trying to give me a ride, so I don't have to catch the bus tomorrow. So I think I'm just going to dip. So she was like, oh, Jay, okay. All right. She was like, well, call me. So I'm like, okay. Get my stuff together. Let my mama know, hey, I'm ready. You know, come get me when you're ready. So my mom ended up coming to get me. And throughout the day, I was texting Mar and Morris. Like, we just was having like conversation. Morris did call me though. That's one thing I liked about Morris. Morris was going to pick up that phone and call. So he called me and we just like talking and stuff. And I'm just like, you're funny. Like, you're really hella funny and like really cool. And he was just like, thank you. He was like, but, you know, like, I want to see you again. It's like having a whole little conversation, just talking on the phone, talking more and kind of like getting to know each other. By now I'm home. So, you know, I'm in my room, just laying in the bed, just funneling my hair, just probably just like, oh my God, I just love Mars so much. We talked until we like fell asleep. And I was like, oh, I like that. I like that. So the next day I'm just like, okay, me and Mar was talking, but we wasn't talking much. So I tried to call him. And when I called him, he didn't answer. So I'm like, okay, maybe he don't like talking on the phone, because then he texted me. He was just like, oh, I'm like busy right now. Like, what you doing? So I'm just like, oh, nothing, just was thinking about you, you know, like, just called to say, hey, you know, that's about it. Nothing too major. So he's just like, oh, like, that was sweet of you. So we're just like talking and stuff. Throughout the whole day, y'all, Morris was calling my phone. He was just like, yo, I'm in the area, like, I want to link with you. So I'm like, okay, like, come pull up at my house. So he ended up pulling up at my house, and we just like talked and stuff. Like, we sat in the car and we chopped it up and had a whole deep conversation. Like, y'all, we was just, I don't know. It felt like we knew each other. I feel like that's what attracted me to him, because I felt like I knew him for so long. Like we've been knowing each other our whole life. That whole day went by, and Mar never called me back. Like, he never called me back. So I'm just like, okay, he don't seem interested. And then like our texting kind of got like slow, and then it kind of got like dry. Like, the conversation just would not keep going. And I felt like if I'm the one that's making this conversation keep going and going and going, I'm gonna feel some type of way, because it's like, if I'm trying, you gotta try too. Like, we would talk, but it would kind of get like dry, you know? So me and Morris still just in the car talking and stuff, and we kind of like kissed a little bit. We did, but that was it. Like, he didn't try anything, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, yes, like, I know I ain't known you long, but we did kiss, and I know that I'd let you link up at my house, and yeah, I know, whatever. So he ended up leaving, and I'm just in the house like happy as hell, like, oh my God. So over the weeks, y'all, over the days, like, we would link up. Like, we would link up. We was linking up like almost every other day for like 2 weeks, right? So one day he was just like, man, you gotta come over. Like, I want you to come to my house. And he had a car too, though. He had him a little scraper on Dubs. So he was just like, yeah, you gotta come to my house one day. You know, like, I'll just be in the house chilling. Sometimes I'll be watching my little brother. He was like, but that's about it. But other than that, like, I'll be in the house just like chilling. So I'm like, okay, you know, and he had a lot going for himself, y'all. Like, he had a car, he had a job, he had everything. The only thing he didn't have was his own place, but I didn't either. So I wasn't finna be like, ew, you don't have your own place? Like, no, I was not tripping on that. He's just like, yeah, you should come over and stuff. He was like, I'll come pick you up, and then, you know, like, you can come chill with me for a little bit. So I'm like, okay, cool. You can call it naive, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but I never used to think that if I chilled with a boy that they automatically knew that we was going to have sex, or they thought that we was going to have sex. Like, I didn't always think that. I would think that if somebody say, hey, come chill, like, we going to be chilling. So I get dressed, y'all. I put on my best cute little outfit, something cute. Like, y'all remember those, what was those freaking shoes? Those sandals? I don't know if y'all remember, but they was like flat sandals, and you wrap them all the way up, like all the way up your leg. Y'all, I used to have those in every color. So why I put that on with like these cute little shorts and like a cute little shirt? Like, I really thought I was doing something. So he come, he pick me up. I get in the car, you know, we greet each other, we saying hi and stuff. By now, I'm comfortable with him because I've linked up with him so many times. Like, we've known each other for such a small time, but, you know, we've been linking up. Like, even if it would be him just pulling up to come give me a hug or pulling up to say hi or whatever, but he would pull up because I didn't live too far from him. As soon as we pull up to his house, we get out the car, we go in the house, and he just like, oh, my room is over here. So we end up going into the room. So when we get in the room, it's a bunk bed. And I'm just like, okay. And it's a little boy on top of the bunk bed watching some type of cartoons. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we just gonna chill in here, like on the bottom bunk, and just like probably, you know, watch TV or whatnot. I don't know. So he ended up telling the little brother, like, oh, like, go in the living room. And the little boy was like, no, like, I'm watching da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, you can watch it in the living room. You can watch it in the living room. And he was just like, no, like, I want to stay in here. I want to watch it. I want to watch it in here. I want to watch it in my bed. So I'm just like, it's cool. Like, he can stay where he at. Like, it's cool. Like, don't even, you know, like, let him watch his cartoon. I'm like, we can go in the living room. Like, we could just go chill in the living room. And he was just like, nah, like, I really want to be in a room. Like, I want to be in here. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Y'all, even though it was a red flag, I'm just like, why did he want to be in a room so bad? But it's not clicking, okay? It's not clicking at all. I'm just thinking like, okay, maybe he just want to like lay down and cuddle like or something. I don't know. But I'm just like, we can do that with the little boy up there. Like, I'm not tripping. Nobody was in the actual house, but he had an uncle that stayed in the back house. So the uncle was back there, but the little boy was just like in a room on the bed watching TV surrounded by snacks. So I'm just like, you know, it's cool. Like, you know, we don't even trip. Like, he's good. So he was just like, all right, well, come on, like, let's sit down. So we sit on the bunk, and I'm not judging because I'm not a person that judge, y'all. I promise you I do not judge. Okay, I might judge a little bit, but in this situation, like, I wasn't judging. Like, I really wasn't. I just thought that, you know, he wanted to just sit there and chill. So he gets in first. So he takes off his shoes. He climbs up on the bed, and, you know, he goes closer to the wall. I sit down, and I'm just like, you know, yeah, like, I'm not about to get comfortable. Like, I'm just gonna sit right here. We're gonna talk. So he was just like, yeah, like, he's like having a conversation. He was like, man, my little brother get on my nerves. Like, he know he can take his ass up in the living room. And I'm just like, leave him alone. Oh my God. So we just like talking and stuff. We smiling at each other. We just like sitting there how we would be. Like, y'all, we would just smile at each other. And he was just like, man, come here. So he ended up pulling my arm. And when he pulled my arm, I'm like, stop. Like, what? He's like, take your shoes off and climb in this bed, girl. So I was just like, all right. So I ended up taking off my shoes, right? I climb on the bed, and we're just like talking. And he just like, yeah, da da da. Like, I'm gonna have to make you mine. Like, we've been knowing each other for a while now. Like, you really gotta be mine. And even though I fell for a nigga saying that I gotta be theirs, like, at this time, it's like, no, you either make me your girlfriend or not. But I'm not falling for that. I'm gonna make you mine. Like, no. So we're just like talking and stuff. And then I don't know why, y'all. I really don't know why. But this nigga thought he was going to be right there on that bunk bed while his little brother was at the top bunk. He like tried to like, we were kissing. So we're you know, we're kissing and stuff, normal stuff that we would do. He tried to pull my shorts down. And I'm like, like, what are you doing? You know, like, because he played so much. I'm thinking like, maybe he just playing. He like, man, just like, let me put it in. Let me put it in. I'm like, no, your little brother is up there. Like, what? No, it's a baby up on the little brother looked like he was like 6 years old. I'm like, no, like he's literally watching cartoons. We're not about to do anything right here. He was just like, man, just like, let me just put it in like just a little bit. Like, let me just put like just a little in. And I'm just like, no, like hell no. First of all, you didn't say nothing about a condom. Like you didn't say anything about using any type of protection. You just talking about, let me put it in. Let you put it in what? Like, sir, no, you're not putting that in me. Like, and don't get me wrong, even if that was something that we were going to do, we only been knowing each other 2 weeks. You think you're just going to just get the coochie after 2 weeks? I used to have a rule. Yes, I had a rule. You know, I forgot how long it was, but I used to have a rule, probably like a 30-day rule. Like, let me know a nigga for 30 days before I just let him crawl up in me. Because I just feel like you can kind of get to know somebody within 30 days, even though it should be a year before you let somebody do something to you. But still, you know, I was young at this time, but I wanted to get to know him before we got to that level. So he didn't get mad, and I respected that, but he just kept like trying, like, man, like just come on, like just let me do it, like it'll be quick, like da da da. And I'm just like, no, like I don't want to do that. We just met each other. We ain't known each other long. Like let's get to know each other before we get onto that level. Because once that door is open, like everything just changes, you know. So he was just like, it's cool. I respect it. So, you know, we just like laying there. And I will say that the conversation was dry. Like, he was mad. He was most definitely mad. And I could tell he was mad as hell. And it's just like, damn, like, you thought I was just going to come over here and start popping kitty cat for you? Like, you thought I was just going to come over here and start popping coochie? Like, damn, you didn't even give me a heads up. Like, you didn't even, like, and that's the thing. Like, damn, like, what? So, I don't know. It just kind of got weird. He got on the phone and he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, we here. Okay, you finna be on your way? All right, mom. All right. Okay. So at that moment, I was just like, oh, he want me to leave. He wants me to leave. Like, I don't know. But that, to me, I just feel like if a nigga don't get his way or after y'all did something, he get on the phone and act like somebody's on their way and you got to leave. Oh, red flag. Red flag. So I was just like, oh, bad. That's cool. You ain't got to worry about me, babes. You don't have to worry about me. So he was just like, damn, my mom on her way and, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to take you home. So when he said that, I was like, okay, like you're mad. And I didn't get upset. I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, like, do you think you could take me to like a BART station? Because I was very familiar with the bus, okay? I had no problem with getting on a BART and the bus at all. So I was just like, yeah, and plus we didn't live too far from each other. So if he would have took me to the BART, it literally would have been like 2 stops and a bus ride. So he was just like, yeah, I could probably take you to the BART. I could take you to the BART. So I'm like, all right, like I'm ready now. So he was just like, yeah, we got to link up again for sure. He was like, my mom, she just, you know, she on her way and she would just be kind of like tripping when I be having company. Like he just kept saying stuff about his mom being on her way to where I kind of felt like, yeah, you lying. Because why do you feel the need to keep telling me? So he was just like, you know what? I think I got time to take you home. Like, I ain't gonna make you get on the board. I got time to take you home. So I'm like, okay, like, it's up to you. Like, I have no problem. Like, I'm not tripping. I had a bus pass, so I really didn't give a damn. But he was just like, no, I'm gonna just take you home. So on the car ride, it was dry. Like, it was dry as hell. And I could tell he felt some type of way. Like, his energy just shifted, like, completely. And I'm just like, damn, like, you only wanted to do that? Like, that's it? So we pull up to my house, and I'm just like, all right, well, you know, like, I'll see you later or whatnot. Call me. He was like, okay. So then we hugged, but normally he would get out the car and hug me. He hugged me like this, like in the car. So I was just like, okay. And he didn't give me a kiss. Like, normally he would give me a kiss. So I was like, oh, he mad. So I was just like, oh, okay, all right. And I got out the car and y'all, that nigga skirted off. Like, he was really upset. And I was just like, damn, not getting the coochie make you act like that? Like, whoa. So I ended up going in the house and I was like, okay, cool. Like, he ain't got to worry about me. I ended up calling Floozy and I'm just like, girl, your nigga cousin is weird. And she was just like, oh, like, what happened? I'm like, he is so, like, I don't know. I guess he got mad because I didn't give him none. And she was like, girl, you didn't give him none? I'm like, no, we only been knowing each other 2 weeks. She like, oh, girl, please. Oh, I would have gave him some. You already know how I get down. I don't care if I want you. I'm going to get you. And yeah. And I was just like, yeah, laughing it off. I gave her an awkward ass laugh because, okay, girl, we're 2 different people. But I'm just like, yeah, no, like, he's weird. Like, that was so strange. I'm like, he really just got an attitude because I didn't do nothing with him. I'm like, but his little brother was on the top bunk. Not saying that if the little brother wasn't there, we still was going to do something. But I'm just saying, like, your little brother's on the top bunk. Like, what I look like popping cat for you? So she like, girl, what? So I'm just like telling her the whole story from beginning to end. She's like, oh yeah, no, he's strange. Like, what did he think? So I'm like, girl, yeah. She's like, don't trip, don't trip. She's like, but what about Mar? And I just pretty much just told her like, yeah, me and Mar ain't been talking and stuff. So I don't know too much about him. So yeah, y'all, me and her just like chopping it up and stuff, having a whole full-blown conversation. Y'all, and Morris was really mad. Like, he stopped like, I wasn't waking up to good morning texts. I wasn't having phone calls from him. Like, he really shifted his whole energy and was mad as hell that I didn't do nothing to him. A couple of days go by and I'm just like, dang, I haven't heard nothing from Morris. So I was kind of feeling some type of way because I'm just like, oh, so you're mad because I didn't let you get. So I ended up calling him when I wasn't mad no more. And I called him and I'm just like, hey, like, you know, how you been? What's going on? I ain't heard from you. Where you been? So he was just like, oh, like, I've been good and stuff. And he pretty much just was telling me like, yeah, I just been like busy, like super, super busy. And, you know, I'm like, oh, okay. Normally you would like tell me when you busy or just like talk to me. Like, that's so weird. He was just like, yeah, like, but I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, you know, like what? Like, what's going on? He was like, a nigga ain't even interested no more. And I was like, word? Like, for real? And he was like, yeah, like a nigga ain't even interested no more. Like, you came over here and I thought I was gonna get some and you didn't want to give me none. So, you know, like a nigga ain't even interested no more. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it is what it is. Like, I ain't never finna beg a nigga. Now a nigga I just met. Now a nigga I've been dating. Yeah, I'll beg your ass. I'm a noodle bag bitch. But, like, what? So, y'all, I was like, okay, cool. We hung up the phone. That was it. Deleted his contact. Ain't heard from Morris. Like, that was the last time I heard from Morris. And I was just like, oh, whatever. I called Floozy. I told Floozy what happened. She just like, girl, don't even trip. Like, we could just go pull up on Monster and Mar. Like, that's who you should have talked to in the first place. Like, I didn't really want you to talk to my nigga's cousin. But, you know, the way y'all hit it off, y'all seemed cool. But she was like, but that's the type of nigga he is. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, so you wasn't going to tell me this? Like, you was just going to let me go up in this motherfucker blindfolded and without a weapon? Like, girl, what? She was like, yeah, girl, like, don't even trip. Don't even trip. So we ended up getting off the phone. And I'm just like, Mar was cool, but Mar didn't seem too interested. Like, over the weeks, like, we wasn't talking no more. Like, we didn't have no type of conversations or anything of that nature. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I'll try to call him. Yo, why the hell I try to call Mar and he changed his number? Yeah, he changed his number. So I said, oh, yeah, Mar don't like me. Because, baby, you still got my number. So if you wanted me to have your number, you would have texted me. You would have called me and say, hey, this is my new number and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, no, Mar didn't like me. So I didn't even tell Floozy about that. I just let it go. I was just like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, it is what it is. I'm not finna, I'm not chasing him. Nah, baby, I got asthma. I don't really have asthma, but I used to say that. But, yeah, I'm not chasing no man. So, yeah, that was that, y'all. I didn't hear from Mar or Morris ever. But the lesson that I learned in this is play these. No, I'm just saying. I really don't know the lesson that I learned in this. All I know is that pay attention to the signs when it comes down to these men. Like, they'll show you that that's all they want. And when you don't give it to them, that's when at that age, like, I learned that when a man doesn't get what they want, they get upset. And that kind of scared me because after that, I didn't have so many different situations where when a man didn't get what he wanted, like, you know, they showed who they truly was. And it was so scary. Like, it's been so many times. Like, the nigga that kicked me out at 2 a.m. because I didn't want to let him lick it. I didn't want to let him taste it and kick me out. Like, he really thought he was going to put, nigga, what? But, yeah, y'all, that's what I learned in this story. You know, pay attention to the signs. And, yeah, y'all, that is the ending of this story time. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. I love y'all so much. All right, y'all. Bye.